I'm sure you can all agree with me on this. We've all watched Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer as a child, the Rankin Boss one and the movie from 1998. There's a big difference between two movies. The Rankin Boss one had the Island of Misfit Toys, the Miner, the Yeti, and Hermie the Elf, and the movie had a few changes, like there's a villain named Stormella, and a few new characters were added. But there were Rudolph's friends, just to point a few out. There was Slightly the Fox, Leonard the Polar Bear, Boone and Doggle, and even the Sprites of the Northern Lights. The characters from in both movies have different names, different plots, as well as different settings and stuff. I like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the movie as a child. I watched it on VHS in the early 2000s, and God, I feel old. There's a lot of good feedback that the movie received. It was shortly after the movie was released to the public. A lot of fans wanted a sequel, but too bad Good Times Entertainment Studios shut down in 2005 due to bankruptcy. So there's something about the movie that I'm not sure, but this is just what I have in mind. The Sprites of the Northern Lights were one of my favorite characters in the movie. I know they're underrated, but I do find them cool. For those who don't know what the Sprites of the Northern Lights are, or who they are for that matter, let me explain. The Sprites of the Northern Lights are four fairies or sprites. They fly around the North Pole. You don't see them as much as you see Rudolph in the movie. Now, when you do see the sprites, you're thinking of that they're fairies. Wrong. You may think that they were fairies as a child, but after what I tell you that they were going to be, you'd be confused. Most kids and adults thought of the sprites to be four fairies, and others may think otherwise. The sprites mainly watch Rudolph and keep an eye on him. That's what they did throughout the movie. But not much on them was told, no backstory or anything like that, and they don't even have a sound of a friendly voice that they're nice. That's what most people think. But others may think of them as something more sinister. The sprites were usually going to be fairies, or something else more, but Good Times Entertainment decided to keep them as sprites. You may like them or see them more like fairies. That's what the studio did. My fury may destroy your childhood for the movie, so you've been warned. The sprites had something inside that no one knows. They have real forms of themselves as something more sinister. The sprites were going to have forms of certain creatures, but the studio scrapped the idea. I really don't know if this was true, but I decided to make this up. The Sprites of the Northern Lights may look fairies to you, but they do look more like fairies in the movie, but I find them to have a dark secret inside. A dark one at that. Let's start off with the Aurora, the red sprite. She's more of a leader type build. In fact, she is the leader. But I do find her to be a monster on the dark side of her, and that she is a devil. A devil inside of a nice sprite's body. But why is she a devil? Because she believes that demons are real and they have taken over her mind. Why is that? Well, it's mainly because most devils are red. Take a look at some movies with demons and devils and you'll see what I mean. Aurora will turn into a devil when she gets angry or rage even, so you might not want to piss her off. When she does get angry, she turns into a devil and loses her insanity. How did this happen? Nightmares. She had nightmares of demons as a child, and she could never get over her fear of demons, so she never thought that she'd be a demon inside. No one but Sparkle, Twinkle, and Glitter know her secret. No one else knows about it, not even Rudolph himself, as in fear that she would frighten others around her. Aurora at night would do a demon ritual, and she mainly does it while after flying around the North Pole all day and night, and she thinks that the demons are real, and even supporting Satan is good. Aurora would turn into a demon to whoever makes her angry, and she kills the one who she pisses off. Then there's Sparkle, the light blue fairy. She's another one of the sprites in the movie. She does have the same thing Aurora has, watching over Rudolph and etc. There's something that most people may not get. Sparkle was cursed by Stormella. Now you maybe think I'm crazy, but believe in what you want. Sparkle was cursed by Stormella when she was captured, and her friends have witnessed it all. Sparkle was changed into a blue wolf, but not just any wolf, a werewolf. Any night of day when the full moon rises, Sparkle will change into a werewolf, terrifying everyone around her. But her friends, which are the rest of the sprites, are not scared of her. Sparkle as a werewolf form will scare anyone that crosses her path, but she does have a vicious temper at times, so you may want to stay indoors on the full moon, or she'll kill you and even eat you. If you do go out at night, just watch your back. There's a chance that Sparkle is watching you, even if you're walking somewhere at night. so watch out for those that work night shifts. Then there's Glitter, the purple sprite. What's so harmless about her? Well, you're wrong, my friend. Glitter was frozen underwater by Stormella one day, and she was changed into a crocodile. A crocodile that can survive in cold. Now, crocodiles are reptiles, and they can't survive in the cold. That's because crocodiles live in a warm and dry places in Africa. But why was she chosen to be a crocodile? Well, here's my theory. She was changed into a crocodile because of the way she shows her evil grin. In the movie, you may think she smiles for happiness. Guess again, she has a trick up her sleeve, and no one needs to know about it. As a crocodile, Glitter would hunt anyone on water or on land, and when she hunts in the water, there is a sight to see. She waits for the prey to come to her, mainly for those who come up to have a drink at night. But if she's on land, the speed of a crocodile is like a roadrunner, and she would chase the prey until she caught it. It was worth a shot. Glitter did have a flashback on something. Her mother was eaten by a crocodile in Africa. How did Stormella know about her past? Easy as pie. She could read people's minds. But that's a different story. Stormella just knows everything. When Glitter attacks her prey, there's no letting go of her prey until it's dead, like any other crocodile would do. There is something that may not make a whole lot of sense. How come she could survive in the cold as a crocodile? Magic. Stormella's curse had granted her magic to survive on the cold as a reptile. But how is that possible? Logic is what made it possible. It is disturbing for you enough? Well then, if you're willing to proceed more into the theories of the sprites, let's continue. Twinkle is the yellow sprite, and she's not a demon or werewolf or reptile. If she wasn't any of those things, what is she? Well, she's a dragon inside of a sprite's body. The kind of dragon she is a Chinese dragon. A yellow dragon with golden spiky spine on its back, but she does have a fiery breath. A lot of people do like dragons, and even ones that they have at festivals and parties. So what could she do? Who could be scared of the dragon? People dislike dragons are mostly scared of them. Twinkle as a dragon would climb on top of the houses and whenever she decides to do some snooping. Why is that? Well, a dragon's gonna hunt for food. Same thing with crocodiles, demons, and werewolves. But a dragon is more dangerous to handle, mainly because they're a lot bigger than the other dragons I mentioned. But a Chinese dragon is a lot more thinner, not just bigger. So, do you believe in me? Well, if you do, then you know what the sprites are monsters. Although you don't see them on the outside, they're truly monsters on the inside. Good Times Entertainment for a fact that they did not want to do anything like that to sweet innocent sprites. So if that were to happen in their forms, what would happen if their forms were shown in the movie? Well, the movie would be at least PG, or PG-13 at least. Plus, it wouldn't have been done in an anime style, as anime does tend to do a lot of stuff like that with their shows and movies. Next time you see the sprites in Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer the movie, think about the Fairies I explained. Maybe you might still think they're fairies, while others may think otherwise. I'm not the one to judge here, but that's just how I see things. We all see things differently in our lives, so I decided to share my thoughts on the sprites. I used to believe that the sprites were fairies, but I have a theory that they're not always what they seem to be. That's why I had theories of them being monsters, so that's why I thought of. So yeah, here's a question that most of you may be asking. Whose idea was it to have monster forms? Well, that's a mystery waiting to unfold.